Have you ever looked at a stranger across a crowded room, maybe on a busy street or a quiet train, and felt a flicker of connection? A sense that, despite all our differences, something fundamental links us together? That's what we're exploring today, the invisible threads that bind all of humanity. In a world that often emphasizes what divides us, politics, borders, beliefs, it's easy to forget the powerful currents of shared experience that flow beneath the surface. We get so caught up in our own tribes, our own narratives, that we can lose sight of the bigger picture. But what if we took a step back? What if we looked for the common ground instead of the battlegrounds? Let's start with history. Every civilization, from the ancient Egyptians to the Incas, has looked up at the same stars and wondered about their place in the universe. They've all created art, music, and stories to make sense of the world and to express the deepest longings of the human heart. They've all built communities, celebrated births, and mourned losses. These aren't just isolated events, they are patterns woven into the very fabric of our species. The desire to create, to connect, to understand, it's a universal human impulse that has echoed through the millennia. Think about the Epic of Gilgamesh from ancient Mesopotamia, one of the earliest surviving works of literature. It's a story about friendship, the fear of death, and the search for meaning. Don't those themes sound familiar? They're the same ones we see in Shakespeare's plays, in modern blockbuster movies, and in the novels we read today. The language may change, the setting may be different, but the core human questions remain the same. Now let's look at science, specifically biology. Genetically, any two people on Earth are 99.9% identical. Let that sink in. All the diversity we see in skin color, hair texture, and eye shape is contained in just 0.1% of our DNA. Beneath that tiny fraction of difference lies a shared biological blueprint. Our hearts all beat to a similar rhythm, our brains are wired for social connection, and our bodies are designed to respond to joy with a smile and to sadness with tears. When we feel fear, our adrenal glands release cortisol and adrenaline, whether we're in Tokyo or Toronto. When we feel love, our brains release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, whether we live in a village in Kenya or a skyscraper in New York. The neuroscientist Jaak Panksepp identified 7 core emotional systems in the mammalian brain, systems for seeking, rage, fear, lust, care, panic, and play. These are primal, ancient systems we all share. Our emotions are not unique to our culture, they are part of our shared biological inheritance. But perhaps the most powerful evidence of our shared humanity comes not from textbooks or laboratories, but from stories of everyday compassion. Think about the Trench Christmas of 1914, when German and British soldiers, who were ordered to be mortal enemies, spontaneously laid down their arms on Christmas Day. They emerged from their trenches not to fight but to share songs, food, and gifts. For one brief, beautiful moment, their shared humanity triumphed over the divisions of war. They saw the person, not the uniform, or consider the story of the Gander Gents. When thousands of international flights were grounded on 9/11, the small town of Gander, Newfoundland, with a population of less than 10,000, opened its homes and hearts to nearly 7,000 stranded passengers from all over the world. They provided food, shelter, and comfort without asking for anything in return. In a moment of global crisis, their first instinct was not fear but kindness. They chose community over chaos and connection over suspicion. These stories aren't exceptions. They are expressions of a fundamental human capacity for empathy. Empathy is the ability to step into someone else's shoes, to feel what they feel. And it's the glue that holds society together. It's what motivates a volunteer to help a stranger after a natural disaster. It's what inspires a teacher to go the extra mile for a struggling student. It's the simple act of listening when a friend needs to talk. We see this shared spirit in our universal love for music. A melody can make us feel joy or melancholy without a single word being spoken. It transcends language barriers. A person in Brazil can be moved to tears by a classical piece from a German composer, and a crowd in Japan can dance to a rhythm born in Africa. Music speaks directly to our shared emotional core. We also see it in our universal need for hope. Every culture has stories of heroes overcoming adversity, of light conquering darkness. We tell these stories to our children and to ourselves because we all need to believe in the possibility of a better tomorrow. Hope is the fuel that keeps the engine of humanity running, especially in the darkest of times. It's the belief that even when we are divided, we can find our way back to each other. So why does it often feel like we're more divided than ever? Social media algorithms are designed to show us content that provokes a strong reaction, which often means content that highlights conflict and outrage. News cycles thrive on division because it generates clicks and views. Political leaders sometimes find it easier to unite people against a common enemy rather than for a common cause. We are constantly being sorted into boxes: liberal or conservative, religious or secular, this nationality or that one. And while these labels can be a part of our identity, they are not the whole story. They are just the cover of the book, not the rich, complex, and deeply human story inside. The challenge for us is to learn to see beyond the labels. It's to consciously look for the 99.9% we have in common. It's to listen to someone else's story with an open heart, especially if they come from a different background. It's to remember that the person you disagree with online is a real person, with their own hopes, fears, and loves, just like you. Rediscovering our shared humanity isn't about ignoring our differences. Our diversity is beautiful and it enriches the world. It's about realizing that our differences are built upon a foundation of what we share. It's about building bridges of understanding across the chasms of ideology. So the next time you find yourself feeling disconnected or frustrated by the state of the world, try this small exercise. Look at the people around you. On the bus, in the grocery store, in a park. See them not as strangers, but as fellow members of the human family. Acknowledge the shared rhythm of life that beats in all of us. The rhythm of joy, of sorrow, of hope, of love. The rhythm of humanity. Because beneath all the noise, our hearts are playing the same song. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. Subscribe to the channel for more explorations into what it means to be human.